God. All right, so you bring said compressor over close to the surfboard, and you take this hose adapter here, and this tape
So
doesn't really need to...
that's off the pump.
This is off this pump, which is supposed to be for blowing up these surfboards. So what you want to do is take some just plain electrical tape, like what I have in my pocket, and you're going to wrap 3 layers around this tapered rubber nozzle. Okay. So that's the setup. Now you've got 2 gauges on this compressor here. The gauge on the left is indicating the pressure inside the tank
Yeah, it says
of the
tank
compressor.
right there.
And the gauge over here, we're going to take and regulate it with this control here to regulate it to about 50 pounds per square inch.
15, 1.5?
50, sorry.
50?
50. That's what we're going to do when we put air in. And then as we hook up, I will show you how we can test the air pressure of the surfboard so that we don't get it over, say, 20 psi. 25 is max, but because this gauge may not be entirely accurate, just to be on the safe side, we'll put it up to, say, 20 psi. Now the red letters are pounds per square inch, so you want to make sure you use those letters. It's the outside indicator that is in pounds per square inch. So you don't want to be confused by the inner numbers, which is in kilopascals. So that's the setup. Okay, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to take these 2 pieces and we're going to jam them together. You want it to be a good friction fit so that it's tight in there, because you don't want it to blow off. Now you're going to hold it with your 2 fingers like this so you can control the air valve, because when we hook this end up to surfboard, we're going to be pushing down on this valve, and the air pressure that's inside the surfboard is going to be coming up this hose right away. So we don't want it to blow apart. You could hear as I pushed it down there, I pushed it down and it's sealing, and I'm giving it a 1/4 turn, no more than a 1/4 turn. That will stay in place now. But whatever pressure is in the surfboard right now is also in this hose up to this valve. Now beyond the valve itself in this hose, in the green hose, is this pressure right here, which is set to 20 psi. Now if I pull the trigger right now, I just pulled the trigger and I don't hear any air going in, and the gauge needle dropped down to 15 psi. So if I don't hear any air going in, or very little air going in, and the trigger is pulled, is on, and it's showing me the pressure that's inside the surfboard right now.
So because there's no sound coming from there, then we can be pretty confident that whatever this is reading is the actual pressure of the board.
That's correct. Now if we want more air to go into the board, we're going to take and turn this valve here, and you'll hear it hiss into the board. It's going into the board right now. So I let some air in, and then I want to check it. I take and turn this valve counterclockwise, this pressure regulator valve counterclockwise, until I stop hearing the hissing noise. And then that tells you how much air is in the board. The board should not take more than 25 psi, and if you do put more than 25 psi, it could blow up violently. So you do not want to have more than 25 psi in the board. The compressor turns on and off here. When the compressor's running, it's going to make a lot of noise. So you're going to have to do the test for the pressure in the board when the compressor is off, obviously.